Hello and welcome to the Coog Radio Concert Series, Episode 5. Today, you guys are going to be discovering or hearing more about And Then Suddenly. Stay tuned for a 10-minute interview with our new interviewer, Isha, as they talk about many things about their band and their thoughts on the local music industry. And then after that, treat yourself to a 30-minute show featuring And Then Suddenly. Stay tuned.
I'm introducing And Then Suddenly, a three-piece math rock band based in Houston, Texas. Hi, how are y'all? Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Can you guys tell me a little bit backstory about your shirts? I really like how you guys are all matching today.
Do you want to take this one?
Sure. So I saw a TikTok a while ago. It was in the middle of the pandemic. It was a long time ago. And it was of this guy who was just standing in his room looking out his window. And then he looks at the camera. He's wearing a t-shirt just like this. And he says, "Who, me? Oh, I'm the boss, California." And then he takes off his shirt and there's another one identical to it underneath. And then he does that 5 more times. Each time looking at the camera and just says, "Who, me? Oh, I'm the boss, California." And then he takes off the shirt and he does it over and over. And just when you think he's at the last t-shirt, he does it again. And it's crazy. I don't know why he has so many of these t-shirts. But I thought it was really funny. And so I bought all of us these t-shirts.
We looked it up and he was like, "Oh my god, they have them in sale. Like, we can buy them right now."
Yeah.
And so we decided that would be a good way to spend our money. So here we are.
They were only like $10 each. It wasn't crazy.
How did y'all buy them?
I think I just Google searched "I'm the boss, California." And I found like a place selling them online. I don't even know if it's like a reputable place or not, but I mean, they showed up, so it works out.
Okay, so what inspires, do you want to tell the audience a little bit like what type of music you play? I know it's something we talked about heavily, but I just want to hear a little bit more from y'all.
That's a hard question.
It is. It's a very hard question because we don't necessarily have like a single genre that we define ourselves as. But we play a little bit of like, I would guess like a little bit of prog, a little bit of math rock, post-hardcore. If you guys can think of any.
Technically, everything since hardcore is post-hardcore. If
Well,
you really think
true.
about it.
It really is. Yeah.
Emo,
Emo.
too, sometimes a little bit.
A little sad.
Kind of just depends.
Yeah, when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, this is like middle school me vibes. So what are some inspirations behind the music y'all are playing?
So people tell us that we sound like the Fall of Troy at like every show we ever play. Somebody comes up and they're like, "Hey, you guys sound like the Fall of Troy." And that's cool. I like the Fall of Troy and I listen to them, but I never...
It was
not intentional. I didn't actually, when I started writing music for this band, I hadn't really listened to Fall of Troy that much. We also get Dance Gavin Dance a lot. But for me personally, I listen to, there's 2 bands that I listen to like all the time, The Used and Billy Talent. They like are the reason that I play music in general, so they're probably my biggest influences.
I pretty much just copy him because he knows good music, so I'm like, "Hey man, what do you listen to?" And then I go from there, so that's that.
What about you, Jenny?
I just hit stuff, man. Not a lot of thought behind it.
You're really good at it though.
Oh, thank
All of
you.
y'all are. Can you describe a little bit of your songwriting process? You talked about it briefly.
So usually I will
Do everything.
No, that's not true.
You just tell them.
Typically I will just be like playing on my guitar, messing around. I'm not even necessarily trying to think of writing a song or anything like that. And then I'll do something that sounds kind of cool, and I'm like, "Whoa, that was cool," and I do it like 10 million times. And then I record it on my phone so I don't forget it, and then I try to expand on it. And then usually when I have a little bit more of like a song structure planned out, it takes me a while to write a song sometimes because I'll take like a bunch of random things that I've written and try to like jam them together. And so once I have like a little bit of a structure, I usually send a file of it to these two, and I say, hey, does this sound cool? And they never tell me anything other than, yep, this sounds cool. So I never know if
What do you want me to say?
it's
It's
actually
awful.
good.
I hate it.
I never know if it's actually good.
Why would you
But-
send me this and waste my time?
But
Constructive criticism.
yeah,
that's
traditionally, Genny is a newer member to our band. Before Genny, we had another drummer named Eddie, and I would bring the song to him, and then he would put drums to it, and then I would write like a kind of like preliminary bass part for Travis and tell him like these are the notes that sound good. There are certain sections where I want him to do like a specific thing because it lines up with the guitar or whatever. But for most of the songs, I would say these are things that like work, and you can kind of do whatever you want within these, parameters. When we started this band, Travis had never played bass
Never
before.
touched a bass. in my
That's
life.
crazy.
Yeah.
So when we started writing songs, I wanted to like help him ease into writing rather than I don't like being in control of everything because I second guess myself all the time. So not having like any kind of feedback is really not good for me personally. So I was trying to ease him into writing by telling him, like these are the things you could do, but I'm not going to make you do these things. Just do whatever you want. But these are the notes that work. But now with Genny, our newest song was the first time I've ever written drums for a song. And I didn't do it to take away from Genny. Genny wasn't in the band yet.
Yeah.
We were like in between Eddie and
He just
Eddie
doesn't like
and
me.
Genny. We were in between, and I wrote the drums just because I wanted to hear, like, I had something in my head, and I was like, it'd be cool if it did this. And then I sent it to Genny, and then she didn't change the song. But moving forward, she will be writing the drums, not me. You can probably tell that this new song does not have as good of drums as the rest of the songs because I'm not a drummer necessarily. But that's typically the process. I come up with something and then show them, and they're like, cool.
Yeah.
And then they just add to it.
So Genny, you're the newest member. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and like your experience?
Yeah, it was really funny because like they had been like playing shows with Eddie before, and I was like a fan of their music, and it was just like, oh man, this is cool. I like seeing their stuff, and I was friends with Wil. And then he was like, hey, Eddie's not he's not available for one of these shows. Do you want to play it? And I was like, yeah, okay. And he was like, hey, there's another show. You want to play that one too? And I was like, yeah, okay. And they're like, hey, you want to join the band? I was like, yeah, okay. No, but I was really, really excited. It was really exciting for me. And it's been super duper fun since then. So yeah.
You don't have to lie.
Sucks.
I have a contractual obligation, man. No, it's been awesome, yeah.
Can you guys describe some of the songs on your recent album? Are there any favorites?
I'd say fan favorites, and probably I know it's your favorite too, isn't it?
Which one?
Duck.
No, Duck's not my favorite.
It's my favorite.
It's my favorite too.
It's
Okay.
that was our
Favorites?
fan favorite. Let's all laugh at the duck. Is definitely. I think it has our most plays on Spotify and stuff like that. Whenever we were recording that one, I hated it. It was my least favorite. I put the least amount of time into it, and the person recording us told us by the end of this, it's going to be your favorite. And I was like, there ain't no way, because it's awful. And then we finished it. I heard the final product, and I was like, he got me. But yeah, that's a big one.
My favorite is one that we never play because realistically it's not, I don't think it would go over well live. It's very strange. There's no parts that repeat. There's no chorus or anything like that. It's a very weird song. It's called Operation Fiscal Jackhammer. That one's my favorite just because what the song is about, and the parts are fun to play, and I just liked the whole process of writing that one. But it is a very strange song, admittedly, so it would be weird to play in a live setting, I think. And then I think recently a new fan favorite has started happening. If you just look at Spotify, our top song is one called Propellers on Our Heads, Jet Engines on Our Backs. We don't ever play that one live either, but people really like it. And I think it's because we have a feature from a really, really good singer, and his name's Andreas. And I think that's probably partially why people like it so much. It's got a really cool section where Andreas comes in and does his thing. What's your favorite?
My favorite, oh man, my favorite when the album came out and my friends and I were listening to it was probably Crystals, because because I was like, man, this goes hard, because I was really into like punk and stuff at the time. But my favorite to drum by far is probably Hybrid. Like, that's just such a fun song, you know, when I listen to it, I'm like, or whatever. So I like that song a lot. Or Snakes. That's another one we don't play live, but I like that one a lot.
It's too fast.
Snakes is really fast.
We used to play it live every show we had, and you could just tell. We would always put it towards the end of the set, and you could just see it, like in videos and stuff that we have, where you can just tell we're all just trying our best to keep up, and it just doesn't work out. It's fun though, but yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just to wrap up, I have one last question. What are your plans for 2022?
We are finishing an album. We have, 13 songs-ish?
I have like 13 songs. I don't know if all of them will end up on the album or not, because some of them are very different stylistically than what we typically do. But yeah, hopefully we're going to record an album and hopefully release it actually in a
timely manner.
Yeah, a good timeline. And then maybe I would really like to do some like shorter tours this year as well, just like week-long things, or maybe just even weekend-long ones where we just go and play shows around. So hopefully we can get into that this year.
Awesome. I think that's it for us. It was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's nice being interviewed by you. It was great.
Yeah. I guess we're going to have to wrap up. I'm not sure.
Thanks for having us on, man.
I can just leave if that makes it easier for you.
You always do this. You're the one that always
Hey.
talks to shows.
Thanks for having us on. And then suddenly. This first song is called Stolen. Was that intense enough?
Swing at a bed, lose consciousness. Patience is wearing like a bottomless. Silence feels like a song. Back here again, empty within. It's so ridiculous how fucking dry I am. The flame, enter the flame. Patience is wearing like a bottomless in the earth. The end, the pain. How selfish you are to not give. The sky, waiting to find that already left behind again. The sky, waiting to find that already left behind again. Swing at a bed, lose consciousness, a patience is swearing like a monomer. The end, the plan, how selfish you are to not care. Drowned in the flame, and to the brain. It's like I'm stuck the end, the plan, selfishly keep what you had before.
Just tell me the truth. Am I wasting time with you? Is there a chance we'll make it through? So I forget as I wait, hoping I will be worse than mine. No, it's not what you had in mind. So lucky that this incident will be fine. That's all it is you left behind.
I've been waiting for too long now. Staying on facing you now. Breathing, breathing in. Too late to begin.
Watching me up, yeah.
wouldn't have let you take a part of me. It's all over now. I fucked it up this time. Help me understand where I'm going. Help me understand where I'm lying. Help me understand why this happened. Help me understand.
This next one is called Let's All Laugh at the Duck.
Hope you don't mind wasting my time. I don't know what you would. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm just going through the motions. They're not really what I want. I'm surprised you haven't gone. I should stop, but it's just I'm just going through the motions. They're not really what I want. I'm surprised you haven't caught on. I should stop, but it's just too much fun. Yeah, I've been waiting for I haven't been honest. Whatever it's worth to you, there's always a chance. You and I both know I made other plans. I know we said something. I know you meant it. I know we said something, but I don't feel the
You're looking at door that I close for a reason. Swear I just saw you. You're looking at what could you possibly want now? I'm just sick of you hanging around. I think you should get it up.
Been a while without a sound, and the next time that I come,
Why won't you just leave us alone? Don't like the fact that you're here.
I don't mean to interfere, but I think it's time I'll come. It's really not complex. Once you're mine, I'm not all I got is time to spare. You will hate me, I don't care.
The shit that the fire doesn't get a good son. And that you're here. This situation keeps getting worse. I thought I made myself clear.
Don't blame me, you're losing control. You think this all by yourself. Safe to say, lost this one. It's time we all got up. It's really not complex. Once you're gone, I'm up next. All I got is time to spare. You will hate me, I don't care.
You broken! I should have been your bride, your motherfucking token! Right! Better off alone! We don't have to deal with them anymore! Finally, anymore! Why are you so quiet now?
The only band social media we have is Grindr, but it's only us two. Yeah.
Alright, go for it.
How could we have known I need
man. That's like
That's a really good polyrhythm right there.
That
Holy
was
crap.
great.